Rock 100.5 KATT. I am Cameron Buchholtz here with Ian Hill of Judas Priest. What's going on, sir?
Oh, loads of things are going on. Middle of a tour at the moment. We're here in Green Bay, and we're moving on tomorrow to Milwaukee, I think, or Minneapolis. Anyway, somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
You end up getting on an aeroplane. It takes you places, and you get off and you play, and then you do it all over again. You know?
There you go. It's how you spent your life, man.
Sorry?
It's basically how you spent your whole life.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a lifestyle for the past 50-odd years.
Now, you guys, as you just said, it's the 50 Heavy Metal Years tour, which was supposed to happen back in 2020, and then for obvious reasons did not, and then was supposed to happen last year, and then Richie had that crazy health scare, and that's so right. It's awesome that you guys are it's finally happening, basically. Yeah,
I know. We're all ready to go, and COVID kicked in, and it's been 2 years climbing up the walls. Cabin fever creeping in there, and then, like as you say, we had a hell of a scare with Richie when we tried it last year. Very lucky man, in the right place at the right time. If there is
for sure,
place, when you're hard trouble, he was in the right place at the right time, And unfortunately, he's made an unbelievable recovery, to be honest, and he's back to his old self.
Awesome. And you guys are going to be here in Oklahoma City, November 20th. And you've been on the road so far this tour a couple of weeks now. And just how's it been? How does it feel to be back out there?
Oh, it's great. Yeah. The problems ironed out. You always get problems. Not problems, but little things you have to iron the wrinkles out. But yeah, we're up and running smoothly. We've had to change a couple of songs around in the set to get it running properly, if you know what I mean. And yeah, we're cruising, and we're loving it. We're having a great time at the moment.
Awesome. And you just mentioned the set. Like, how exactly do you guys figure that out? Because with 50 years worth of material, it's probably pretty difficult to whittle it down to 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah, it gets harder with every album, because you put a new song in, you've got to drop somebody's favourite. but we do our best, this is the second leg of the tour. The second time we've been to the States this year. Mm-hmm. So we've changed the set list extensively from the first one. You can't very well expect people to come and pay good money to hear the thing they've just listened to. So we changed that, and again, I think we've got a good blend of old stuff, new stuff, and one or two things that we haven't played for a long time. And just freshens things up, and it gives us more incentive to go out there and do it as well. It's mm-hmm. exciting for ourselves as well as the audience.
Awesome. And the big news, I guess, in the Judas Priest world right now is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which you guys are being inducted in about a week, I guess, on November 5th. What's your mindset kind of going into that? Because that's a pretty big deal.
It is, yeah. I mean, we've been nominated a couple of times before, and we didn't get it. And you kid yourself into thinking, well, who wasn't that bothered about it anyway? But really, when you get inducted into something like that, it's a great feeling because you're being recognised by your peers. It's not like pleasing your fans, it's a different thing entirely, because these people are musicians or vocalists or whatever, and they know exactly what it takes to do what you do. And it makes it special, and we're looking forward to getting there, we're honoured to be part of it now, It's going to be a hoot, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I mean, it's awesome because it's I think a lot of people kind of hard rock and metal fans aren't necessarily the most pleased with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame all the time. And I think, there's probably a little bit of a bias against heavy music, I think. And so it's great to see you guys get in and be one of those heavy bands that is represented there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's because heavy metal is it's not as popular as like pop music, your top 40 mm-hmm. stuff. It's in your face all the time, when you're driving to work and you're getting bombarded with this stuff. Whereas metal music or rock music in general, you have to go searching for it, for the most part. And I think there's a lot of that in it. It's been a bit unrecognised because of that. But I think Sabbath are in there. I think
mm-hmm.
ourselves and did Metallica get in there?
Metallica's in.
I think Def Leppard might have got in there. Anyway, you know what I mean. Now it's opened the door, I think, and with a bit of luck, we'll be seeing more metal bands getting recognised, which is it's deserved, really.
For sure. I mean, I think it was, everyone thinks it's long overdue for you guys to get in. So, and what's that process been like? Because obviously, did you guys have a say in which members are being inducted and that sort of thing?
No. That's all the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people. They induct who they think is worthy, for want of a better word. So Ken's going to be there. I mean, he's been a huge part of the band, from his inception right up until he left them about 10 years ago now. And of course, Les Binks is going to be there as well. And it's a shame, poor old Dave Holland, he didn't make it, He's been indicted, but unfortunately he died a couple of years ago now, which is a shame, really. But yeah, no, everybody who's up there deserves it greatly. So
now, if you had a say, would you have done it any differently? Would you maybe be bringing Richie in with you, or maybe Ripper as well?
Rich is going to be there anyway. He's going to be up on stage. He's going to be playing with us anyway. Yeah, I think part of one of the parameters is you have to have played with the band for 25 years or something like that, or over the last 25 years. And it's got nothing to do with us. If it was up to us, we probably would have inducted. Yeah. Showing my misspelt youth. The Ripper would have been in on the act, but it's not up to us. We have no say, really. Pity, but it is what it is.
What do you guys have planned for the performance part? Is KK going to be performing with you, or is he just going to be inducted and there to speak?
No, that's the plan. There's going to be, let me see, 1, 2, 3 guitarists on stage and 2 drummers and 1 bass player and 1 vocalist. It's going to be special, I think. Either that or it'll all implode.
Right. I mean, is there any hesitation to playing with KK again?
Not really. I mean, he deserves to be up there with us. He really does. Like I say, he played an immense part in the band while he was there. So yeah, I've got no problem with him being up there at all.
Nice, and it must be especially kind of cool for you because you're the only one that has literally been there the entire time.
Yeah, I know. People keep telling me that. It won't be any more special to me than it is to any of the other guys. I'm sure. It is an honour, and I'm sure the other people will be just as pleased as myself.
For sure. And outside of that, you guys are kind of in the middle of making a new record, right? Like, what's the kind of status of that right now?
The music's pretty much put down. I actually I put the bass lines down on the last leg of the tour in Europe. Andy, our producer, Andy Sneap, he's filling in for Glenn at the moment on guitar. And he bought his laptop and an interface, and I put the bass lines down. The days off, we had loads of days off in Europe. You're doing festivals, so they're all on the weekend basically, so you're getting 2-3 days off at a time. So we just sat in his hotel room and just rammed them down, and it sounded great way to do it. Easy,
Yeah. And what was the writing process like? Because I imagine a lot of it was written during the pandemic, and you guys live in different parts of the world. So what was that process?
Yeah, well, the right Richie and Rob both live in the States, so they could get 1 or 2 things, the material between each other quite easily. And with modern technology now, I mean, we were all getting bits and pieces, and we were all listening to it, and I'd putting bass lines down. Scott was putting drum patterns, you know what I mean? So Glenn was making, Glenn made his contribution as well. So we all did our parts as we would if we were sitting in the same room, basically. It's something that was science fiction when we first started. Things like this, it didn't exist.
And what's the kind of direction of the album? I think I read somewhere Richie said it was maybe a little more progressive than what Firepower was.
Yeah, it's a little bit more intricate. Yeah, there's some more fiddly bits in there.
I mean, is there a previous Priest album that you can point to that maybe it's more similar to, or how's it fitting in your minds?
Not really, no. I mean, it is pretty fresh for us. So it's something we've always tried to do, is try and move forward with each album and tour or whatever, you know. And we've moved on from Firepower, so it's a sort of a Firepower on steroids, if you know what I mean.
Okay, all right. Well, I think fans will probably like to hear that, because I mean, obviously, Firepower was super well received, and I'm sure people are stoked to see what's next, to hear what's next. And well, Ian, I appreciate the time so much, man, and just looking forward to seeing you guys here in OKC on the 20th of November, and it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it will be. We're looking forward to getting there and playing to you guys.
Indeed, and again, congrats on the Rock Hall, and good luck with all that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah,
for sure. Well, thanks for the time, and we'll just see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, Cameron. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you.
A pleasure. Anytime.
Indeed, man.